Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damien Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This one is the, I guess we're doing our Halloween stuff.
Starts, yeah. First
now.
one.
So we got our special guest this week from the Pretty Little Podcast. Allie and Jess will be joining us, and we're going to talk some horror stuff.
Yeah, we got Allie, Violet, and Vixen, Commissaro, and Jesi. We just know her by Jesi.
I'm just Jesi.
Jesi, Jesi. It's all you get.
Well, it says her full name there, so.
Well, listen, don't be fucking cheating now, Mike. Let's not give out any information now.
Well, it says it right on the screen.
You rat. Have some cheese, rat.
That's my government name. Government name. I work. I do a lot of virtual work. So I'm like, I have to have the full one for that one. So.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of your cheetah jacket, Jesi. Like, I've been looking everywhere for one of them.
I am cold. It is cold in Pennsylvania tonight, and
leather jacket weather.
I'm good.
That's what I wore today. I went and wore my leather, and now I'm wearing my fur. Like, I'm like, this is my at home. I'm very cigar, cigar jacket right now.
Are we all Pennsylvania? Everyone's
in
Pennsylvania.
Philly.
Right?
I'm in Philly. I'm from Delaware originally, but I live in Philadelphia.
I'm South Philly.
South Philly too.
So we were all probably pretty close. Jess, not
I'm
Jess.
Bucks County.
You're Bucks County.
I used to live there.
Who, you, Damo?
Yeah, but I used to live in Benson Hill.
Oh, when you had the house.
Yeah. I hated it there.
Well,
but you're originally from South Philly.
Yes, he's from around the corner from me, pretty much. Okay, so we got the girls from our Pretty Little Podcast on, and so I'm going to start off with a couple questions. I'll go to Allie first. How'd you start the podcast?
Well, I was on another show, and it just was becoming a nightmare. So I basically, out of frustration, was like, I just need to kind of like do my own thing. Mm-hmm. And all my friends basically were like harassing me, like, you need to do your own thing. And everybody said to me, and when you're picking a co-host, like, go for someone that you connect with, whether it's online or like whoever it is, like someone that you guys kind of see eye to eye, but like are different in the right ways. So I had followed Jesi for, I don't know, years. And I loved everything that she posted and her vibe and her whole just look, everything. And so I reached out to her and boom, here we are.
So is that how you guys met?
So
yeah.
Allie and me had been friends online for like a decade, and I had been doing I did like at least a decade of content creation, and she also for just as long as me, just like side by side parallel content creation. So we've been following each other for years. I was familiar with her work and the style that she went for, and she was also familiar with the style that I went for. Like, also, I would say one of the biggest consistencies is that every day I would wake up and I see an Allie, Violet, Vixen Commissary post, and every single day she'd wake up and see like a Jesi Eternal Atrocity post. And so I think that there was a mutual understanding that we were two people that fully
did way too much content.
You work content,
but it was dedicated. We were dedicated I don't know anyone as dedicated to their craft as Allie. You know, she takes it seriously, and I think there was a lot of mutual respect there because we both were willing to grind. Was it we were in totally different circles of like what like we were doing, but we saw very mutually had like a mutual understanding of like the drive to want to create art. Like Allie does the 31 days of Halloween every single year. I knew her before she messaged me and asked me to be a part of this as the girl that never took a day break of the 31 days of Halloween. You see this right now. You see the makeup, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that there was like a mutual respect and understanding there. She asked me, Cole, if you want somebody who's really direct, it's going to be Allie. She messages me and she's like, hey, here's what I'm doing. I've been following for years. Are you in? I need to know if you're in. And I was going through a tough patch at the time. I was newly separated. I was going through something. I was crying every single day. So I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm getting into right now, especially a difficult part of my life, but actually being a part of this podcast and taking the opportunity when given to me while I was going through such a tough time in my life, it gave me some consistency in my life. And I think doing the podcast with her is actually like it helped. I had something to look forward to every week instead of harping on the things I was going to. Like it gave me a responsibility to like put myself in, and I developed skills, like interview skills through it and stuff like that. Like I've always been really known a lot about music, but through this opportunity that she gave me, she like I really think that it helped me work through my separation and helped me a lot. And
kept you busy, which is
it kept me
And
busy.
she didn't get a minute. Like we started with 2 like local bands, and then we hopped right to like Ryan McCombs.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You guys go from unknown to known, and you just get a lot of hits too.
Yeah.
You guys get a lot of hits, so it does well. I mean, shit.
I looked at the
she
fuel.
did good for us. Yeah, the fuel looked good. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. There was
and that just went up. The fuel just went up
that
yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's brand new.
Yeah, it's been insane. We've had so many just amazing guests that just like they all get me excited. Like, I mean, every single person that's come on the show, like I have their t-shirt, I listen to their music, I add them to my playlist. Like I just love it. I love hearing everyone's stories and what like motivates them and being part of it.
Yeah, well, it's like, I mean, I could definitely say I could vouch for being a hard worker because we did the Misfit song and we were like, you know what? I was like, we were looking different people to put. We're like, we want to get a girl in the video, and we're like, we don't know, like everybody's weird, right? So you don't know who to reach out to. It might look weird, it might look funny. Somebody might think you're goofy. Who knows, So, but I reached out to Allie. I was like, she's got the perfect look of what we're looking for. Like she's got some style. It's the kind of deal we do. She looks like she's in the Misfits. I'm like, you know what? Let me just reach out. I reached out to her. When I tell you, within 45 minutes, I had all her footage.
That's crazy.
For the video.
You'd have to wait like 45 days.
Yeah.
45 minutes, dude. Like she did the makeup and all. She's like, oh, you got me the perfect time. I'm getting ready to do it. I'm like, really? And she sent it to me. I couldn't believe how quick I got it. And, I like to work quick too. So I was like right on it. So I was like, I was starting editing right away. And we didn't even do that we weren't even in the same room. So anything that's in that video, so we're totally two areas,
Yeah.
But and that was like super cool, and I was impressed with how quick and professional it was. Like I'm like, I asked her and she delivered like in half an hour. I wish everybody was like that,
Yeah, really.
But
it's actually nice during the 31 days because like I have to always think of something. Like when you guys sent me kind of like what you were looking for, I was like, you know what? Somebody else finally picked something. Like, that's great.
Yeah, it was cool, and the video did pretty good. It's actually moving more now, which is crazy. Our like hits went up a couple thousand within like the last 3 weeks, maybe because Halloween's coming.
I sent it out randomly to people, and I'm like, "Do you know this girl?"
I haven't looked at it in a while.
And then you hit me up and said that you had was it Jerry's son who listened to it?
Yeah, I actually cool. got put out right before Jerry was doing his Jerry Other, right before he was doing Elephant Talk with Camille K.
Oh,
And I had sent it to him, and I was like, did you get a chance to look at the video when I saw him? He literally played it for everyone.
That's cool.
In the Tennessee Beer Hall on in AC, I think it's AC. It was crazy. I mean, everyone at the Elephant Talk basically like saw the video. It was cool.
Very cool. We appreciate you doing it. And like I said, I would love to get you guys both in one. That would be friggin' awesome. Awesome. Because we had other models we talked to, and something, like anybody else, like musicians, they're pain in the ass sometimes. You just deal with it and you roll with it, But yeah, totally appreciate that. Okay, so I got one. You don't have to answer this one if you don't want. I could edit it out. I'll go with Allie first. Strangest guest you ever had on your podcast. Just fucking weird. It was just weird.
She can't dime anybody out, Bert. Come on.
Well, come on.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, right?
Because I do.
I like this question. I don't know. I'm trying to think because like everybody's been kind of normal.
That's
like for the most part, because people don't want to show that they're insane on recorded. You got to think about it like that. So like if they are crazy,
I mean, Bobby Vivid was pretty wild.
Bobby Vivid was pretty wild.
I would say like not in a bad way strange, but like I was definitely like thrown off when they were talking about the different penis piercings and like split penis. Like I didn't even know what half of those things were. And then when he like threw out that he was a porn star, and like
that was a wild one.
I was just like, oh
know.
wow.
See, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I work in the retail end of that, and I don't think I know who Bobby Vivid is. That's what I do. That's my job.
He is a huge star on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's a personality on TikTok. He just did a lot of things, and it was crazy because when like I asked him like wild things like what's the craziest rumor and this and that, and he was just very
open. Yeah.
First thing on his mind said, and you just didn't know like what was going to come out next.
That's good though. It's off the cuff. It's good.
Oh, it was definitely interesting, and I learned a lot. But I mean, like, I don't even know you could split your penis. Like, did you know that you could split your penis and pierce it?
I want to brought that up. I had that question, so
that usually doubles me over if I see that.
Yeah. This way I can use it 2 ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fucking too crazy. Yeah. How about that?
My knees are touching right now. I'm like,
yeah, like I don't know. I have a son, so like I was just sitting there like, what has to happen in your life for you to do that? Like,
yeah,
definitely not on my list.
Are you going?
It's going in both directions.
Yeah.
Like, what about the first guy who thought about that? Like, let me just split my penis. Like, how do you
was
even
the first one?
Like, how do you
come up with that?
Right. Like, what if oh my god, what if you were like in the middle of the deed and like it got stuck oh my god, like there's so many things that could happen.
Stuff can
happen.
You
mean like the dogs when you see them?
Exactly. Like, dude, there's a lot of issues that could happen with that, and it would be your own fault. Like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if she's pierced too, it's even crazier. You know, I mean, yeah, it could be a lot of trouble.
I always just thought
going on.
Sounds
if
like a
the
mess.
dude like pulled down his drawers and had that, I'd be like, I don't know how to react.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
fix that.
Yeah. Like, why?
I mean, 2 hands.
Yeah, right?
It's crazy. Yeah, wow. That's Bobby Vivid. We gotta look up
Bobby Vivid. I think Bobby Vivid would be the winner because he was like, he carried like the conversation to the point where we were like, what's the weirdest job you had? And he was like, I can pick up, here's everything that I've ever worked. And we're like, all right, porn star.
No, I asked him the dirtiest job. I totally stuck my foot in my mouth because that's when he brought up that he was a porn star, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I meant like dirty, like
filth.
Not
yeah.
dirty. Yeah, that's so. Wait, you guys didn't even know he was a porn star at first?
No.
No.
That's
We
hilarious.
didn't have him. We were just like, oh, he's
I
just
don't have an OnlyFans or any of that.
yeah, we didn't know we didn't know what we were getting into.
What a
so,
surprise!
yeah.
That's funny.
He was just very open about everything.
Now I gotta look it up just for the hell of it. I gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
I don't know who
He's
this guy is.
interesting. He was. I wouldn't say strangest. I would say wildest. Like
Wow, that's good.
wildest
That's
was-
good. That's still cool.
Yeah.
That's still cool. Wow. So there wasn't nobody where you're like, all right, I can't wait till this is over. You ever get one of those?
Every now the ones you're like, I can't wait till this is over is the ones that they don't talk at all because you're like, I'm running out of questions and
It gets stiff. Yeah, it gets like bored. We're like, all right, it feels robotic, you know.
Robotic. So
or the ones that you ask a question and they just don't answer it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So now do you both do modeling?
Yeah, I would say so. I think
Okay.
that our background, both of us are modeling. Absolutely. I do photography too. And I would say I'm a photographer first and a model second.
Oh, cool. Cool. And I always see your pictures with that. I don't know her name offhand, but she's always got great pictures up. And you're one of the girls that I know she takes pictures of, Allie.
Kimberly Pace.
There you go. Her stuff's good, man.
I just talked
really
to her
good.
yesterday. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine too. She's awesome. She reached out to me last year or the year before, and she's like, "Hey, I love your look. Like, would you want to shoot with me?" And we just had so much fun. Like, she's just as like crazy as me and a Halloween fanatic, and we just had fun. Like, I didn't even know what to bring because she shoots like insanely like beautiful women all the time, and like I mean tall, beautiful model physique, and like I'm short, I'm 5'3", so like,
are you really? Because I think you were way taller than that.
I wear really high shoes and I'm good with that.
Must be because I'm short. I'm like, and you were way bigger than me. I thought. It must have been the
5'3",
I wasn't looking at the
don't have shoes on, so I mean, like, yeah, we just had so much fun. Like, I dressed up as Harley and just took like wild pictures. She lets me kind of like, capture my weirdness.
Yeah, the first picture I seen of you was the one. I just remember the pentagram earrings. I remember that.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. I must have seen you going through her. She's on my friends page, so I must be friends with her. But like, I would check out her. She's always got pictures up. And then I came across Allie. Then I seen that Allie was doing some makeup thing, and that's how I came across Allie. And I was like,
he just hit over 46K.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
I mean, does she just do female content, or like say band stuff? Would she do band stuff, or that would have to be like a special kind of thing?
Yep. She does bands. She
have to get it for the band pictures, Damo.
She does all sorts of stuff. And she's like not just a photographer. She's also like a coach. Like, if you're doing something awkward, she's very like, that doesn't look right. That's not what we're going for.
Yeah,
like,
you don't know what to do with your hands
else.
sometimes. The hands are always weird. You never know what to do with your hands.
Well, it's funny because she loves to get the girls in the water. And like, I'm all down for it. I love seeing the pictures of everybody in the water. All good. But first of all, like, I don't want to get my hair wet if I'm all done up. Like, I've taken the time to do my hair. I'm not trying to do that. And like for the Skookles, like in her backyard, so she always tries to get like
to go in there,
to go down there and go in the water, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't know about that.
That's on the no list.
I hear horror stories about.
There's been so many ridiculously famous women in the Skookle.
That's crazy.
And so I told her, I was like, I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't know.
I don't
And
blame
I
you.
was
You might
like,
come
but
out
we
with
can
like,
go to my parents' house and take pictures in the pool. But when I was saying that,
yeah.
but when I was saying that, I wasn't thinking that like she'd expect me to get my hair wet. So literally, either I'm like high enough in the shallow end where I can like stand and my hair wasn't touching,
Yeah.
or I'm like this,
Yeah.
holding my hair up, like balancing in the deep end, like trying not to get wet. But the pictures turned out amazing, and she's brilliant. So
Very cool. Very cool. So, okay, well, real quick with the makeup thing, when did you start knowing that you could do makeup? Were you always like artistic and stuff like that, like drawing and stuff like that, or?
my mom's an artist,
Oh, cool.
so I mean, I guess I get it from her. Uh, so when I was little, I started like all the other girls would want to like dress up in wedding dresses and like have fake weddings. And like, I never wanted to do that. Like, I always wanted to do their hair and their makeup and like do behind the scenes, take the photos. Like, I always wanted, like, I don't know, the stylist of like our little like fashion shows and weddings and whatever. And I guess it started there. And then my best friend growing up, she'd always be running late, and we'd like want to go off to like the club or wherever, or like just go out somewhere, and she'd be running so late, so she'd be like, can you just do my hair? Well, her hair was literally to her butt.
Yeah.
So I learned how to do updos and hair very quickly through that. So then I kind of went on to doing weddings and did that for a while. And I've just always been into Halloween, and I've done the 31 days for 11 years now.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, so I've always kind of like had a drawn around this time of year, especially because I do the Halloween makeup.
Have you ever
Yeah, I've done
have
some
you ever
really
put the
cool
makeup on
looks.
Jess?
What?
Have you ever put the makeup on Jess? Like, did a design on Jess? Did that ever
No,
happen
because
yet?
Jesi can do her own makeup.
Oh,
Like, dude,
cool. So you do too.
she like
Wow.
kills it with her makeup.
I do like I've been doing makeup for like my entire life, practically. My mom loves makeup, so she let me start wearing makeup at like 11 because she was like, I love makeup, like whatever you want to do, girl, like whatever. So I just
That's
walked
cool.
around looking like a member of Cradle of Filth, which is not what she did not expect when she was like, yeah, whatever you want to do, play with, dabble with the makeup, and then I would like come out in the corpse.
You know what? Still to this day, I still go with the Wet and Wild like
Oh
eyeliner.
yeah, uh-huh.
Like the black eyeliner, like I feel lost if I don't have it. Like I still use a lot of like my basic products that I've used for years.
Yeah, your go-tos. So before we move on to our episodes, actually, we're going to talk some horror movies. But before we go on to that, the one last thing I'm going to throw at you, and same thing, I'm not sure, I'm guessing here, because I've been obsessed with Storage Wars. You can even ask Mike's at my house all the time. I've watched Storage Wars all the time, which I'm 30 years late or whatever on it. You know, I'm watching it now. I don't know, somebody in your family owns an antique shop, right?
My mom and dad.
Oh, awesome. Because I'm obsessed with that. Like, right, Mike? I got the show on like it's on that one.
It's like on that. What's that Neutron?
I don't know. It just comes on the Samsung or something, like one of those bullshit channels, and it's 24/7. I'm like, oh, what are they going to get? What are they going to get for that? Like, I'm just like, it just looks fun. But I'm like, I said, I'm so late on it. They're old episodes, you know.
Yeah, I haven't done this. Like, I haven't done the bidding on the storage because, first of all, where I live, like you don't want people like that.
Yeah,
people are crazy up in the suburbs. Like they're just
sorry about that.
Yeah.
And like they like bid on them really high from what I hear around here. Like I've I know a couple people that have gone and like tried it, and they're like, yeah, it wasn't like Storage Wars, but
Yeah, I just want to go to see. I'm gonna crap out easy, but I'm just
I'd
gonna
rather
go.
look
like,
at the stuff. Yeah.
Get like
Yeah.
a bunch of
no,
junk,
the
probably.
funnest is doing like estate cleanouts
Oh yeah,
and
'cause you
like
get some cool stuff.
seeing
Probably.
what people collect. Like
estate sales.
Yeah,
yeah, like
a lot of good vinyl deals
yeah,
on that.
they'll like clean out the whole house, or they'll have someone like come in and at least like clear out what they can't send to auction. And man, some of these people, like the inside of their houses, like they're just absolutely gorgeous, and like the stuff is just piled. I mean, like to
Yeah.
the ceiling, just insane. And it's like, wow, like that was somebody's like lifetime collection.
Dude, it's crazy.
My mother doesn't like to throw anything away.
She's a hoarder.
So
Hoarders. Yeah. It's another,
Don't
it's
let her
another-
Hoarder
hear you say
Wars.
that.
It's another show, right?
Do not let her hear you say that.
That's crazy. I'm like, I'll collect something and I'm like, now I'm done. Like an idiot. Like I just right now I want everything like all like the vinyl I'm collecting now is half it's stuff I bought back in the day. I'm like, man, I just got rid of them for CDs. Now the CDs are going for the vinyl. It's a mess.
There's a difference though. See, vinyl's what you collect when you get older.
I guess. But
I collect vinyls, but I don't have a record player. Like I keep like looking for one.
It's like art. It's like collecting art.
I like the pretty pictures.
Right.
To be honest with you, I like to look at the big picture. I think it's cool.
I like when you get it, like a lot of they'll come with like stuff. Like
Yeah.
I love that. I
like the trinkets.
I love the trinkets. So like stuff that thing full with everything. I'll take it. Love it.
Yeah. Like I bought like a Jack White one not too long ago, and it came in with like an 8x10, a different little pin. I'm like, oh, these little the lyrics.
We gotta get you in touch with
Oh, yeah.
Iteria because she makes vinyls.
Yeah, she works at
Really?
she also is in my neighborhood, so I'm like running into a Terry everywhere.
Oh, give the brother a hook
What's
up.
the place called? Do you know? Jesi?
I don't know the record store. I don't know if it's in the Northeast or if it's in like I'm not quite sure. I don't know where they're pressing vinyl in Philly right now, but I'll find out for sure. and
That'd be
message-
cool because we're looking to do something just so expensive right now.
It's so expensive. It's
expensive.
really
Yeah,
expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and we're gonna sell like 5 of them. Nobody cares, and they're gonna be all to us. Like Christmas presents for everybody. They'll be like, listen, I got one of my buddies. No lie, I go to his, and he's in a different band. I go to his house, and if his kids are in the room or whatever, they put me on. Clears out the fucking room. It's unbelievable. I'm like, kids are arguing, just play me. They'll clear them right out the room. They all leave because it's like too whatever for them,
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. So yeah, we're going to talk some horror movies, and then we're going to hit you guys with some stupid questions. And I'm going to start with Jess first. Jess, off the top of your head, don't have to be your favorite, but horror movie.
I was just thinking about my favorite earlier, and I think it might be Scream. Just because it was one of the first like real horror movies I saw because my uncle got it in Netflix when he used to mail it to you.
Oh yeah.
He left
Back
it
in
on
the old
TV.
days.
Yep. And I crawled on the floor and I was like, I gotta see what's up with this. And I think it's probably the first actual horror movie I watched. So it has like that nostalgia factor for me. I love dark comedies too. Like I love Death Becomes Her and stuff like films like that. I would say the last horror movie I saw The Substance last weekend. This weekend I'm seeing Terrifier 3. I love the Terrifier.
That's on everybody's list. Yep, that's on everybody's list.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love all kinds of horror movies. I'm literally in front of the VHS.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it's all VHS horror movies. So
That's got to be like a lot of 80s stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
All the good shit.
I watched a lot of 80s horror movie films.
But you said Scream, right? So now talk about Scream for a second. Scream was great because it had the twisted ending where you had the two. That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like, guess what? The last one they put out, I thought was good.
I liked it.
I like the second one too.
Yeah.
I kind of like all the Screams. I think they were all pretty good. And you said it had the campiness, which is great. And there was some comedy in there. There was like a little funny stuff in there also. But yeah, the good twist with that was that there was the two killers. That was
I didn't expect that. What was it? Was it Wes Craven's last
Wes.
movie?
I think it was Wes Craven. Yeah,
It was his last film,
Was it?
right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure it was his last one. I would say my favorite horror movie I saw last year. I loved Infinity Pool.
Oh, that was good. Well, what's her name? She's got like a weird
Yeah,
thing about it. She's kind of cool.
I loved Infinity Pool. I thought Alexander Skarsgård was great in it.
It was a weird movie. It was a weird
What
movie.
was it? Cronenberg's son's movie? Like Infinity Pool was
Okay.
made by I think it was Cronenberg's kid made it. Yeah. And it was sick. So it was very body horror-y.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So I'm a big fan of that. And aside from that, just like I love horror movies. I love weird horror movies. I watch a lot of 80s shit, a lot of like D-list horror.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
That's the best stuff.
Tubi, we're watching it on a Friday night, Pieces, it's a classic. The fact that the girl almost actually died.
I remember that.
Oh, I don't know. I think I know that
What's this one?
Pieces, it's what is it? My source. What year was Pieces made?
That was early 80s. Had to be.
It was in the 80s, thank you. And the girl actually like almost died because they didn't know how to make a horror movie, so they left the chainsaw blade on and they shoved her in the floor. And
no shit.
Pisses her this much, and she pisses herself in the movie. And they left it in the film, but it's all an actual real. It's so dangerous when you watch it, but it's amazing that they left that in the film. And
it's
that's
called Pieces.
It's called Pieces.
Oh, I definitely remember that.
The trailer is hilarious because you have to watch the trailer. Pieces trailer.
All right, I'm going to tell you because it's been so long since I've seen that movie. I'm going to say this guy was taking pieces of girls and sewing them together.
Is that okay? It's a Spanish movie.
I remember this one scene from it. I think where they open up the closet and she just falls out all stitched together. I could be wrong. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay.
And the trailer of the film is like Pieces. It's exactly what you think it is. And that's why I had to watch the movie. Somebody really showed it to me and were like, it's hilarious. You gotta watch this trailer. I was like, turn this shit on now. So we watched a lot of like D horror.
Yeah.
Horror movies. And then we also go and see all the new ones. So
nice.
It's a horror movie happy house in here.
Dame, how about you? Give me some horrors.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, the guy next door.
I didn't hear the name. I was drinking something.
Demo.
Man, I can't remember. Well, I watched Terrifier again last week with my mom this time.
Wow.
And,
family movie.
Well, she got me into all the horror stuff. So, when that scene comes up, that was a little awkward.
The one with the girl?
Watching it with my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, it's so over the top. It's still good. It's silly, but it's over the top.
She was so fascinated with how Art the Clown looked that she wanted to see what he looked like in real life. So she sent me pictures after we watched the movie.
Oh shit.
Yes, we really like that. We were watching Babadook last night, which
That's an interesting one.
I've seen before.
That's
she didn't see it. Really, I haven't really been watching a lot of old movies. I saw Dracula. I watched the original one last week. Just the other night, I put on Bride of Frankenstein. I like the old
time ones,
Universal horror ones. All those I watch all the time around this time of year, and I like a lot of the paranormal stuff. Anything with demons and shit, and then I usually wake up and have like these crazy like nightmares, like where I'm possessed and I'm fighting like these demons. Those are my dreams.
You become Keanu Reeves all of a sudden. Constantine.
I had usually I had these very vivid nightmares where like I'm bad on like Satan and I try to like out Satan.
I love it. That's it.
You know what I mean? But I'm trying to think of anything new that I saw. That last Exorcist movie, I thought that was a stinker. I didn't really like that.
Hey, well, you know what? The first half of it was good. And then it got weird.
How do you defend the movie by saying the first half is good?
The first half was real good. And then it got stupid.
You know what
Yeah,
it
but
is?
that's like a
It's-
big letdown when the rest of it stinks. How about the first
It's
half
how
was
they
good?
shoot the stuff now. They're way too bright. You see too much. Like in the old movies, everything is like really dim and dark, and it kind of like leaves a lot to the imagination. Now it's like you got to see everything. Everything's in like
Well, there's no shock value
HD.
That's
to
why
it.
I like the VHS films because
they're
they,
old, they're grainy.
well, not just the VHS films, but the VHS franchise films.
Yeah.
Oh
Because-
yeah. We were watching that last week. That's good.
Yeah, because it being on like VHS, there's a grittiness to it.
Yeah.
When you have that grittiness, it makes it scarier.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you don't know what you're seeing.
Right.
It's like there's a mystery to it, and that's what makes things a little
Well,
more.
Mike always mentions this, and I'll credit Mike on this. Mike's like, everybody does the gore thing now. Sometimes it's scarier when you don't see what happens. You just know what happens, like
Or
Just
you
the
just
showing
make up
it.
what happens. It,
figure it
yeah,
out.
I mean, I thought the Terrifiers are great, but at the same time, like, man, it's just
Well,
it's
meant to
it's
be.
too
It's
much at some point.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it-
the thing is what's creepy is that he doesn't talk. His mannerisms.
That's the best part
Right.
about it, is
You know?
that the mannerisms do it all. Which
Yeah.
that's if he talks, it'd be like having a bad guy in wrestling that never talks, and he starts talking like, you just fucking ruined it all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't say nothing. Just be big.
Mhm.
Don't say nothing. Allie, you mentioned
I
that.
can't believe nobody said any of the ones that I was. Well, Scream. I love Scream, but I have to go with House of a Thousand Corpse,
That's on my list.
Devil's Rejects,
It's on my list. Yep.
and the one that scared the absolute shit out of me when I was a kid, Poltergeist.
Oh,
that's
that's a
good.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's
so
a good
creepy.
one. That's a real good one.
That man, I had a real problem like looking in mirrors for a while after watching that.
The clown. Right?
or just
Clown.
like seeing your TV
Yeah.
go off air.
Yeah,
Just
you
seeing
see the
that
static.
snow and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about back in the day when you would watch, and they still do goofy shit like this, like you would see, us not knowing all the video stuff and the glitches. We'd see weird glitches, like, oh my God, something just happened, which was a fucking glitch on the TV. Back then it was like, oh shit, something's going on,
Yeah, you think some shit's
Actual
gonna pull you
paranormal
through it.
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now for me, I mean, I'm going to go through a couple where I'm going to shout out and see what you guys think of these movies. But, I've said it before on this podcast. My favorite movie of all time, the scariest movie to me. I was scared shitless when I was a kid. When I watched it, I felt sick. Like I was sick for 2 weeks. The Exorcist, the original Exorcist.
That's a
is
number one.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
You were sick for 2 weeks.
I was sick, dude. I thought I was possessed. Please, it's a long story. It's a long.
I think you told me this before.
Listen,
I think everyone
was
questioned
scared.
after that when they did
Yeah.
something if they were like possessed at all.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was the
I
craziest.
think demonic. Me and my roommate have this thing like we both love horror, we both love metal, but we also both come from religious households, so we both say like the number one. I say I'm terrified of ghosts. I'm terrified of like ghosts, man. I don't fuck with the ghosts. Don't invoke ghosts.
I don't-
I will see somebody be cut in half in a Terrifier movie. I will not wince.
Yeah.
You put me in front of a Ouija board, I'm like,
Yeah.
get this thing out of here.
That's all the shit I like,
It's
but it
that,
scares me.
that
too.
the paranormal shit is. The
See, I
scariest.
can get through a lot. It's Hostile when they cut the
Ooh.
back
Oh,
of the
yeah.
foot.
Those movies
That-
are
Ooh.
I can't
That's
do
right. I
that.
remember that.
Then,
Yeah.
like, even my wife said that she likes horror movies. The second, I don't know, if it was the first or second Hostel. She's like, this is just too much. I'm like, you're saying
Yeah.
it's too much? I'm like,
I'm
really?
gonna say the fucked up part is because I think that shit really goes on.
Well, the
Like
bidding. Once
that's
they
the
showed
scary part.
once they
Yeah.
showed you, I don't know if it was the second one where they showed you that they were bidding, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh shit! And then she gets the revenge is awesome. One of them where she's got more money than the other guy, which was great.
The story was great. I mean,
Story
it
was-
but
It was
just
scary.
like,
Fuck,
what
I
was the
wouldn't
one?
wanna go there.
That Japanese one, the Chinese one that we just watched. I
The
can't even think
Ring? Oh, the
not The
weird one
Ring, the se-
Damien picked out. What was the weird? It was
no,
fucking
the
weird
series
Chinese
on
movie.
Netflix.
Squid Games.
Squid Games. Yes,
That was
like
cool.
but like, there's a lot of that stuff. It's like, man, I think this really goes on.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, I love it. Mike D, want to name a horror movie before we go into something
See,
list?
I'm probably more into like the sci-fi, maybe zombie stuff. Probably like The Thing. I'd probably say was probably my first horror movie that really scared the shit out of me.
The original,
right? Just not knowing who that alien was taking hold of, and like just other things like the hard like animals and stuff like that. It's just like it was different. You don't see that stuff. Like the alien transforms out of a dog. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with that. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, no big deal. One of my favorite movies also is The Omen. The Omen 2 is probably one of my favorites of all time.
Sure you're not possessed?
I know. I like the demonic ones for some reason. Maybe because I grew up with religion and Catholic and all that. So all the demonic movies, I always tend to go near.
That's the scary shit. Yeah.
That's the what ifs, right? What if, you know? So so I like The Omens. Now they just put out the prequel, that Omen that just came out. Awesome. I thought
maybe that's what I'm thinking of, not The Exorcist.
The new Omen was great.
But there was an Exorcist where the new
one believer,
twins,
right?
Two people are possessed, and then it got dragged online. Everybody hated it. They said the twist was there's gonna be 3 more. I think they signed on to do 3 more, and this is the first of 3. So now
are they gonna have that not like whatever number it is, like that many people possessed in each one? Like, are we gonna get 3 possessed?
That's interesting.
They hated 2 people possessed. I think it got bought. It got bought in a like whatever company owned it got bought up by like Paramount or something, like corporation, and then they bought.
Oh, there'll be 7 or 8 of them.
They'll really ruin it now.
They're gonna crank them out all of so that's what they're doing.
Well, you know what's weird? Like I said, the first half of the Exorcist Believer, the first half was kind of cool because it was more like a mystery movie almost. And then it got into once they started getting into where they went to each religion and there's like 3-4 different religions, and I'm like, all right, come on, stop. It's like they made it kind of stupid, but it was good until then. But I'll still watch it.
Yeah, that's what they kind of did with The Purge too. Like,
the first couple Purges were crazy. They were good.
Like,
that shit could happen.
Well,
that shit could happen.
Just took it way too many directions.
I only saw the first one of them.
What, The Purge? I saw the first like 2 or 3. They were good.
I just saw that a couple months ago.
I got a movie for you that for some reason I haven't finished it yet. I'll watch half of it and then I'll fall off. And everybody said it's an awesome movie, and I haven't got to that point yet. Anybody see Hereditary?
Yeah, I've seen was it Ari Aster film? Yeah, I've seen like most of the Ari Aster films. I saw that one. I saw he did what, Midsummer? No, that's not
that was him, I think.
That was him. Midsummer. I saw the Sasquatch one he did. What other which one? Beau is Afraid. I saw that one. Oh, Beau is Afraid is an actual I would say it was more terrifying than Hereditary or Midsummer, just because it was like being stuck in a panic attack for 2 hours.
Oh shit!
It was really.
I
did not watch that film. It was so It was so bad for me. My boyfriend loved it. He was like, "This was like crazy." I was like, "It was like being stuck in an actual panic attack." It was insane. But I've watched like most of the Ari Aster films. I really liked Hereditary because I really like magic, and I really like for somebody who's afraid of ghosts, I love demons and I love mythology. So Timon, or like the god in it, is actually from there's the book. I'm into like Icelandic magic or any kind of like sigil magic. So that's an actual demon in like Satan's Satan's court.
Right.
Along with like Belial and stuff. There's a book written like hundreds of years ago on sigil magic. It's like a huge like black magic book that's like somehow survived, and he's one of the demons in it from like Satan's army, and they picked the demon out of it, and it was Pieman, and they based the movie around him, and he's an actual like demon that you can buy a book and summon. And I thought that was amazing. My dog is going crazy right now.
Let me just tell you, like, Jesi is one of the smartest people I know. Like, she constantly, I'm constantly learning like crazy.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking all these new movies I gotta watch now, which is great. It's amazing how many you miss.
things in my brain, but it's an actual was it Gosha, is it Gosha? Gosha magic. Gosha is like the magician that wrote it, and it's like it's the Lesser Key of Solomon is the book, and it's the lesser key because Solomon was the first person to like biblically Solomon is the first person to invoke a demon
Really?
or
Wow.
summon a demon in the Bible. And so it's the Lesser Key, and it's a book of spells that you can actually buy, and it's very
Yes.
You know the book, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Mike's face as she was explaining that, like,
yeah.
So wait, Mike, you know about one of those books, Mike?
Yeah, man. Because like when I'm going to say we were probably like 14, 15 years old, and we were kind of probably fucking around with shit we probably shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was just for like visual jokes and stuff. Like we had this abandoned house. We kind of not even abandoned. It was like they were building them. And we would go there and like rig up all these like contraptions, like thunder sound and like sheet metal in there. And we'd have people over. We scared the shit out of them with like seances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one of our friends, Billy, you know Billy Bird.
Yes, I know.
He stole from one of the bookstores one of the Keys of Solomon books she was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And one night in there, we're messing around. He actually was reading something from it and had stuff down on the floor the way it was laid out in the book. And something happened that we didn't rig up. All of us just ran out of this place, man. Like we're shitting ourselves at this point. It was like a flash of lightning in the sky. There was no clouds, nothing. It was just out of nowhere. Out of here. We're done. He gets the book, just throws it right down the sewer immediately.
He was done. That was it. It only took that.
And I'm going to tell you even the creepier part, because we're walking to his girlfriend's house after that, and we look up in the sky, and around the moon, there's this circle that's just around it like a cloud. And as we got to his girlfriend, it formed into a star. And we're just like freaked out about that.
Wow.
So when she mentioned that, I was like, uh-oh.
You knew that. Yeah, you knew it.
Yeah.
They're like things that like you can't buy them in most magic shops because like they tell you like that's not something you should like
screw around with. Yeah.
But here's a thing that like I think only really people in real life know me. Like people I know off the internet don't know, like probably don't know this. My family is like very in the occult. Like they're very they're Golden Dawn-esque or Aleister Crowley. They follow like Aleister Crowley's beliefs to the point where it's almost goes a little bit too far for me. Like the stuff that it's very like my family's very, very occult. And so I know a lot about that kind of stuff, like in general. Like so when I see like I don't always agree with everything in it, and a lot of it is dangerous, and I come to disagreements with my family about some of it, but I know a lot of it. Like if I see like somebody with an Aleister Crowley tattoo or somebody really committed to like the Golden Dawn practices or really believes in stuff, I'm really well educated in that because my background is that like or like invoking weird things, man. Like I know a lot about that, so I think that's also why I'm like fine with demons, but I'm cool with but afraid of the ghosts. Like I don't know.
Jesi, did I ever say on the show or like tell you the story of the first time I used a Ouija board?
I don't know. I don't know if you did. I can tell you why I
Do
don't.
I have time to say it real quick?
Yes,
sure.
please.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Okay, so I had moved to a new school from 7th grade to 8th grade. And I became kind of like, I went from like not really wanting to talk to anybody and being very like emo goth at a school that there weren't a lot of them to being like the cool like goth kid that came to the new school. So I got invited to this sleepover, and I'm so excited because it's like, you know, the popular kids. I'm like, yeah, like this is what's up.
It sounds like a start to a horror movie.
Yes.
They start. Wait, we go down in my friend's basement, and it's already creepy to begin with, and it's 4 girls and a guy, right? And we're sitting down there, and my friend's like, why don't we do the Ouija board and channel Kurt Cobain? It was like right after he died. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I really want to mess with that right now. Anyway, they all talked me into it. So we're sitting there and we're asking it questions and like, I'm kind of figuring someone's moving it, whatever. All of a sudden, there's just the loudest boom explosion, like right behind us. That literally all the girls ran up the stairs in such a force that the poor guy got like literally just trampled.
Wow.
Her hot water heater had blown right in the middle of the
That's not a coincidence. I'm sorry.
It's not a coincidence.
Nope.
Nobody would go down in the basement for like 2 years after that.
That's the good stuff. That's
so
the good stuff.
That we were kids. Now I gotta have mine.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we probably couldn't have been more than 10, 11 years old. And God, what a bad idea. We were at my friend's house at night, and his parents were upstairs, and there was nobody else home. The dog, that was it. Who's the worst thing you could probably try to summon? Like, one of my friends goes, Hitler.
Oh my God.
So we do it. All of a sudden, like she said, this loud bang.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 kids just run out, like screaming out of the house. One kid gets bit by the dog on the way out. Okay, we gather ourselves. We go back in. And what's creepy about this was, remember those big rubber wrestling dolls?
Yeah.
The wrestling buddies.
Yeah, his Hulk Hogan doll was like right in back of us, like in the like in the living room area, like.
That's funny.
And he had this metal plate on the wall, and it had a dent in it. After that,
them things were heavy.
We don't know how the Hulk Hogan went through that.
Damien's got it right there. That's the one.
That's the one. Yep.
That's fucking hilarious, Damien. You got that on hand. How about that? Props. We got.
But that Ouija board went out. We get rid of that thing.
It's funny, dude, because when I was in that band, Stop the World, you have them ego boxes you have on stage for the singers. Mine was a Ouija board. Like the front of it was a Ouija board because listen, I love all that stuff. But if the devil came to get me, I'd be like, oh, please, God, oh, please, God, oh, please, God, be the first one. Listen, I'll sell it right out. And I'm into all that stuff. I become a big fucking girl. I'd be like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with that.
I didn't mean it. I love that you can, no matter how, in spooky shit you can get, but like when shit does get too real at some point,
you turn quick.
You turn quick. I think the last time I used a Ouija board, the ghost or whatever I was talking to said something so weird to me that I never wanted to use one again. It told me God is trapped in heaven, and like he doesn't hear anybody's like calls. Like God is trapped in heaven. And
who else were you on it with?
It was by myself. And
that's the bad part. Oh, that's the bad part.
I was by myself, and it was something so weird that I would have never thought of. Like I could have never subconsciously made that myself because I had never had a natural thought of that. And then it drew like an infinity symbol, and it freaks me out. I never played with one after that, but the weirdest part is...
So you got an assignment and you didn't do anything?
Right? The weirdest part about it is that like 10 to 15 years after that, somebody posted on my Facebook when I was a kid, I did a Ouija board in the cemetery with my friends, and the ghost told me God is trapped in heaven and made an infinity symbol. And I never said anything to the person who posted it online because it freaks me out so much.
That's weird.
But it was like they had the same thing happen to them. And
dude, you're gonna have all these people reaching out to you.
I know. Well, I went on a whole like a year after that when I got a little less freaked out, and other people said other ghosts had told them that.
You just revived it, man. You're gonna be getting all sorts of messages.
It freaked me out so much as a kid that I never did anything. And then like maybe like 5 years post then, this girl told me that like a ghost told her that, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's the thing that ghosts say. It was very weird, and that's why I don't fuck with Ouija boards anymore.
Good stuff. So before we move on to the dumb questions part of it, so one trilogy I want to mention because I thought all three of these movies were good, and I don't know if Mike or Damien ever seen these. You two guys might have seen it. Allie or Jess might have seen it. I think Jess probably definitely seen it. That the X trilogy. I liked all three of those movies.
It's funny you mentioned that.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Great. Well, and it's got what's her name? Something Goth. I forget her name. She's an odd-looking character, dude.
Yeah.
She's married to Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, is she really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've seen all of them. My favorite is Pearl.
Pearl's crazy.
I didn't particularly like Maxine. It had a lot of odes to like some of the other like older films, but it wasn't like it's a slasher I wanted it to be. In the trailers, they made it seem like it was going to be like a really 80s slasher, like the New York Ripper or something like that. But it ended up being more of a noir film. Yeah. There's only one or two scenes in it that really are quite
like the ending's got a nice little twist.
The ending's got a nice little twist, but I wanted more of a slasher film.
All right.
But I really liked it. Pearl was my favorite because I think that it was just crazy. I liked X though, also all great films. I would say like my favorite film that year though, that like I saw, like Pearl came out recently, but like the year I saw X and Pearl, I would say the films that really stood out to me that year were like Late Night with the Devil.
Great movie.
Oh, that was great.
Great. You watched that thing? It was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the best movies this year.
No, I don't know that one either.
This year. Really good. It's like a talk show and they bring out a girl that's possessed, but they're trying to say she's not. Like they're trying to say it's not.
They're trying
to like a Johnny Carson kind of.
Johnny Carson, yeah, definitely.
That was a great movie.
It also opens with one of my favorite bands, Pentagram, does the opening track for the film. Yeah. One of my favorite bands of all time. I have tickets to see them next year.
They're still around, Pentagram? Wow.
Pentagram is playing Maryland Death Fest pre-show. I love Pentagram. They're amazing. I have the record sitting over there. Last Days Here is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Well, why haven't you reached out to them?
Why haven't I reached out to them? It's because Bobby is a criminal and a horrible person. Like notoriously, he's local.
We had Bobby Vivid on. Like we can get through it.
I mean, he just got out of jail for beating his mom, so like I can't really have Bobby Labeling on. Pentagram was supposed to be as famous as Black Sabbath. They were supposed to
it's kind of like that stonery kind of Sabbathy. That's what I remember.
Well, they were at the same height of it was same time as Black Sabbath.
Wow, that's
even heavier. They were supposed to open for Kiss. Bobby's
find a different member.
Find a different member. I could.
Yeah, not the one that beat his mom, but I would get
I love Pentagram.
That was a nice member.
I know.
A nice member of Pentagram.
A nice member of Pentagram. It would be very iconic though to have Bobby Labeling on. Can I have approval to interview Bobby Labeling? No.
Mother's Day special.
Yeah,
get away from
yes,
that's so horrible, Mike.
It is horrible, but
oh my god,
really funny.
The irony is good though.
The irony is so good. That'd be so funny. I love Pentagram. They're one of my favorite bands.
I'm kind of still thinking about getting Dennis to change the phone number to say that it's God and just be like, I'm stuck in heaven.
Yeah, God, I'm trapped in heaven.
I'm trapped in heaven, baby. That'd be a track. Somebody write that.
Jesus.
So,
did anybody see, last one I'll throw out there because I just watched this, did anybody, and I don't think it's necessarily a horror film, but it's kind of close to it, and I thought it was really good. Blink Twice. Anybody see that yet?
No.
Dude,
I think I heard of it. I'm
going to read you like what it's about. I'm going to probably fuck up the reading because I can't read right. But it says, when tech billionaire Slater King, who's played by Channing Tatum, who's actually great in this, he meets a cocktail waitress called Frida at a fundraising gala. he kind of, they kind of hook up. He takes her on this plane, and it's like, and there's a bunch of other girls on the plane, and they're just partying. They go to this place that he has, and it's kind of like a fantasy land, fantasy island kind of deal, right? Where they're getting fed, they're getting high. It's like they're just partying, partying,
No,
partying.
like a Diddy party.
Yeah, like a Diddy. No Diddy, no Diddy. So what's going on? And I don't want to give it all away, but what's going on pretty much is, everything's good. Everybody's having a good time. But the girls start waking up like a bruise here, a bruise there, like weird shit. But they're still smiling and having a good time. And then they find out, like, eventually there's this like creepy fucking lady around that is killing these snakes around. And what it is she's got snake venom in a thing. And one of the girls drinks the snake venom and realizes that, like, oh shit, wait a minute, she's going through all this horror stuff that's happening now. Like she's realizing everything day to day. When she was all having fun, she really wasn't having fun. So they had like this perfume or something that would make them forget. Like, in other words, it would make you like erase your memory, just make you happy kind of deal. But they were taking advantage of the girls, and they were, but the cool part is the girls get their revenge.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a good revenge movie. So if you get a chance to see it, blink twice. I was like, this is pretty fucking wild.
You had me at Channing Tatum. Like, he usually
yeah.
Yeah, he played a bad guy, which is he was real good in this. So yeah, I think it just came out too. So if you get a chance to see it, give that a chance. So
you seen him in Black Hawk Down?
No, I never seen that.
I saw it years ago. Yeah.
It was a big movie.
Was a good one.
All right, so we're going to move on to some stupid questions here real quick. The first one, all of us will answer. It'll be different for the guys and the girls, and then we'll go on with just the girls we're going to ask the questions for. Okay, so I want to start out with Mike. The question for you is, if you had to pick one of them, Morticia or Lily Munster?
Oh, definitely Lily. Definitely.
Damien. What was the question again? You're right.
That's a hard one, man.
Damien, Lily Munster or Morticia?
Stevie's here. She's distracting me. Lily, 100%.
I pick Lily too. Let's see.
Von Carlo, man. She
beautiful, yeah.
She's smoking.
Yeah.
So okay, now different question. Same question, but different for Allie and Jess. Do you see yourself more as a Morticia or a Lily Munster?
I would say everybody around me would see me more as a Lily Munster, because less of a Morticia. It's because I'm very goofy and like stuff like that, I would say.
I don't know where.
And I like to think that I'm Morticia, but I think everybody else sees me as Lily Munster.
That's Lily. Here you go. How about you, Allie?
I can't say any of them. I'm a Wednesday.
Oh, there you go. That's all right.
Like, I'm definitely a Wednesday.
Right. We threw in a different. That's good. It threw in a different thing there. Where's Stevie still on? Let's see Stevie. She got the Gene Simmons ponytail.
I love it.
See her face. Raise her up.
No.
She's got the greatest teeth. Look at her.
She's a baby. I wanted to say I'm more of a Debbie.
More of a Debbie. Okay, so all right. So this is just going to be for Allie and Jess. I'm starting Allie first. What cartoon character would you be?
It depends on the day, I think.
Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Why was I thinking that too? Or Gloomy Bear.
Gloomy Bear, yeah.
Gloomy Bear. How about you, Allie?
Yeah, I was thinking Courage, but I could go with like Gloomy Bear. Some days Hello Kitty. Kind of depends.
Cinema roll.
Depending on the
I'm gonna think of a perfect cartoon after I get off.
Always like that. Yeah, that's why I put you on the spot. All right, Jess. First CD you ever owned or remember owning?
Man, I don't particularly remember the first CD, but I can remember some ones that really just like I spun till like they were disintegrated, scratched. Him Razor Blade Romance was a pinnacle of my development. I had like Him's discography pretty much, and I just beat them to filth. They were in my Walkman like crazy, and definitely a band that got me into a lot more bands.
Awesome. How about you, Allie?
I had 3. I was working for a guy that sold CDs at a flea market, and he had like all sorts of imports and everything. And out of all of his like thousands of CDs, I went with Korn, Fugees, and Green Day.
That's a good mix. Yeah.
They were my first.
Very 90s.
Yeah, very.
And I was very obsessed with Korn. Like Korn kind of carried through all.
Yeah. I love Korn. I was listening to them yesterday.
Okay, so Jesi, easy question here. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Favorite ice cream flavor? I'm a mint chocolate girly for sure. And just like I love like black raspberry ice cream, like the Bass's black raspberry
I
one.
don't think I ever tried that.
This is your
That sounds
perfect
good, though.
opportunity. Black Cow up at the Ritz.
I know.
How about you, Allie?
Other than Black Cow up at the Ritz Theater in Scranton, I would say mint chocolate chip. Or no, I'm wrong. My favorite out of all of them would have to be Rita's, and it's their cotton candy.
Oh,
Ice cream?
that's gonna
Yeah.
that's gonna be sweet.
It's not as
real
bad
sweet.
as you think.
No.
It's
It's actually
good.
pretty good.
Okay. All right. Here goes easy one too, I think. Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin, Jess?
Oh, it's got to be Black Sabbath.
Correct answer.
I like Led Zeppelin. And they're actually, I rewrite that. Actually, if I'm going bands that era at the same time, we're going Pentagram. Ooh,
Pentagram trumps it. There you go.
Please.
I'm gonna have to check them out. I heard of them before.
They're good. They got that stoner kind of sound.
They were supposed to be same time. They were supposed to be as big, but the singer is an actual crackhead. So can you get me my Pentagram record so I can show it off? Thank you.
That's crazy. I heard of the name forever, and I probably heard songs from, but I don't remember too much.
I've seen that name on Spotify.
Oh, it's around. It's been around
that.
forever. Yeah.
There
you go. That's the album I remember.
That is the 70s or I think it was 69, 70s.
Came at the same time.
They are
That's crazy.
same time as Black Sabbath, and they were supposed to be as big, and they're heavy for the time.
Sure. Yeah.
Legacy band, very evil. I love Black Sabbath though. I love Ozzy too, and I love Led Zeppelin. Baby, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you. Stuck in my head perpetually. So,
how about you, Allie? Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin?
Well, of course, I have to go with Black Sabbath because I mean Ozzy, and I grew up going to the Ozfest.
Mhm.
But I will say that I did get to see Jimmy Marciano that used to be in Get the Let Out.
Yeah, Jimmy's great. He's a friend. Yeah.
Perform a Led Zeppelin song. Like this band like would not stop harping about it to him while he was playing with ear candy. And like at first I thought it was obnoxious, but I'm so glad that she did. And it's cool to watch it live. So I do have a way new respect for them after like seeing him do it live and like play it. So, but I mean, definitely Black Sabbath as a whole.
I mean, for me, I like Led Zeppelin, but I would definitely go Sabbath. How about you, Mike?
I grew up on Led Zeppelin, so
you go Zeppelin.
Not that I was from the 70s, but I think when I was going to school and I don't know, it was around that glam era. I think I got into Led Zeppelin at that point, and it took me away from the glam. Go figure that one.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I have to go with Zeppelin. I didn't really get into Black Sabbath until like maybe after high school.
Right. How about you, Damo?
Who, me?
Yeah. Who you?
If you asked me a year ago, I would have said Sabbath, but the past year I've been getting really into Zeppelin, so I'll say Led Zeppelin.
Okay. Robert Plant. He kills
Yeah, they're
it.
great. Zeppelin's great. I just would pick Sabbath.
But
I
I think the Black Sabbath bass lines were fundamental to change to moving music forward.
Mhm.
I think like Rush, Black Sabbath, all these bands, so good, amazing. I think that you can hear a Black Sabbath bass line and immediately know it's a Black Sabbath song because they're that.
Yep. Definitely. Now, Jess.
Mhm.
Okay, rock band that you can't listen to anymore.
Oh, I got some really unpopular ones that people are gonna grill me for. Like I really like.
So do I.
I can't listen to Green Day. I can't listen to I hate the Foo Fighters. If you play the Foo Fighters, I'm out of the venue.
You're out of the room. That's it. I'm out.
I'm out. I heard it's anything that played and on my local radio station 104.5 every single summer that it burnt me out of it. I have to hear Santeria one more time. They haven't changed. I listened to 104.5 so much in my teen years, and to the point where Semi-Charmed Life comes on, I gotta get up. How are they still playing the same 10 songs? So if you want to really blame somebody for the band, what I can't listen to, ring up 104.5s, tell them Jesi left the venue because we're playing Foo Fighters because you couldn't hear the best of you.
Yeah.
Too many times.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you waited till we were on another podcast and weren't around our producer to mention that you despise the Foo Fighters.
Hell, nobody asked. In my personal friend group, everybody's just like, yo, Jesi hates the Foo Fighters. I was looking for but I was loving the Dave Grohl infidelity memes.
Funny, aren't they?
There were a lot of good ones. Who was the one? The one that I got a confession to make and somebody's holding the baby.
Yeah. I know.
Great.
I just showed this to a friend of mine today because when I saw it like a month ago or whenever it was, I was fucking dying. Wow. Okay, unfollowing now. I love Dave Grohl's Adultery. I had no idea his music sounded like that.
I shared that because everybody knows I hate the Foo Fighters.
I'm not really a fan.
You know what my problem is with the Foo Fighters? They write good songs. Their songs are hooky. Yeah, they're good, but there's other bands that they act like that's the only rock band that's out.
Right. They sound like end credit music. It's
right.
Like,
they sound like the guy got the girl at the end of the movie and here comes the credits. You know what I mean? They're good songs, but
Yeah, we got so much music out here. How are we still listening to the Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
See,
How about
I'm
you,
like
Allie?
that. I'm like that about Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like
I used to love them. Yeah,
I can't. I just can't.
So many people can't, and I think you guys are so valid. Unfortunately, my first boyfriend was a bass player, and not only was he a bass player, he was a funk bass player.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Now he played slap bass. So when you have developed an appreciation for the slap bass, you are fucked. You are like, I'm over here like Flea's a king.
You're funked. You're funked.
You're funked. Les Claypool's a god. Victor Wooten, the king. Like, can you play harmonic? Like, I'll be.
Wait, and I'm gonna say right now, because of everything going on, I do not want to listen to anything with Diddy or Usher.
Yeah. I could pass on both.
Every time
easily.
I hear Usher, I'm like, oh man, like you knew, dude. You knew what was going on with these.
I know.
I actually feel sorry for Bieber now for some reason.
I know.
Yeah, God only knows.
I love Biebs, so I mean,
God
like,
only knows.
Oh, what did he do?
It ain't what he did.
Well,
It's what Diddy
who
did.
knows?
It's
But-
what Diddy
What
did.
he do?
I hate to say it, but them memes are good too. I can't.
I honestly haven't
Diddy-
followed any of that.
Oh, it's a mess.
yeah, there's so
dude.
funny.
The one that was like a house of 1,000 baby oil.
I seen that. Yeah,
That
I
was-
seen that. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Listen, people with the memes, people are so creative. Stuff comes up in minutes. It's unbelievable. Like you get bombarded. If something happens, it's out there immediately. And they're pretty funny, most of them. Not the situation, but the memes, you know?
I love the comments. I sit there and go through the comments and like, I'm just like, okay, I just need popcorn. Like, let's go.
People are creative. So I get the last question for you guys, and we're gonna plug some stuff for you guys.
You didn't want to ask me and Damien?
Well, I already know your answer. The Chili Peppers you used to love, and now you're kind of tired of hearing.
Oh no, that wasn't going to be my answer.
Okay, you know what? Take the floor. Yeah.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. This is probably more modern. Greta Van Fleet just cannot.
You really hate that band, don't you?
I was like, why are you dressing like Robert Plant and looking, doing the whole thing?
Yeah, and they go, no, we don't like Led Zeppelin. We don't sound like them.
Yeah, we don't know what Led Zeppelin is.
It's like I don't care if that's your influence. You want to sound like him, whatever. Yeah. It's like it's that voice. I can't listen to his voice. Yeah. It goes in my one ear and comes out the other, and I feel like my eardrums are shattering.
It's like Frodo meets Robert Plant.
You want
Dame, how about you, Dame? Since we're on it, what band could you not listen to really right anymore or don't like?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said Foo Fighters, them and Dave Matthews Band. I absolutely
I don't even
Hootie. I can't do Hootie either. Like he came on the radio the other day.
I just like his name, Hootie. It's a great name.
It's great. He's got to be Hootie. That's the Hootie guy. It's not even.
Those songs are so long though. Like. You can take them for like a couple seconds, but man, they're long.
Now, band, I'm going to say a band I used to love so much. Man, they stink now. Motley Crue. What happened? What happened?
They all started fighting.
Like I'm over it. I mean, I used to love that band. I'm beside the classic records. I'm over them. I'm like, wow. I mean, they put out a cover, "Fight for Your Right to Party." They're older than we are. You know what I mean? They're like in their 60s. These guys. What are you partying to? If you are, you grow the fuck up at that point. You know what I mean?
It's fight for your right to get invited to a party.
Yeah. Sleep by 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? But okay, I got one last question for you guys. I already asked Damien and Mike this before, so we're just gonna go to you two. Jess. Yeah. 3 of your favorite things we would need to summon you.
In a Ouija in a circle to summon me.
Just 3 things that would get you out.
Cigarettes. I would say cigarettes for my dog. Probably blue Gatorade. There doesn't take much.
That's different.
It's not really taking much for me to get out. Like you text me a couple times, you know.
Make sure you got blue Gatorade, the puppy. And cigarettes, you're in.
Honestly, you don't need the dog. You can like leave your dog at home. I bought you a pack of cigarettes. I got you a blue Gatorade. I'd be like, you love me?
That's great.
Like, oh,
good stuff, Allie.
I would say definitely 6. Tacos and Rockstar. Yeah.
So your dog, your dog, tacos. And music, pretty much, right?
I mean, like, I don't want to say like add Jackson to a summons, but I mean, like, he's my most important. But I'll go with the dog, Rockstar, and tacos for the summoning.
There you go. There you go. Yep. So we did ours. I mean, Damien was like Slim Jims and something else. Like,
I forget what I said.
Damien, it's Slim Jims.
It might change by the day. Who knows?
I had
right now. I'm craving a cheesesteak. You could summon me with a cheesesteak.
Yeah, I'll be right near you. You can summon me pretty quick with that too.
Yeah, cheesesteak that would help.
Yeah. So, Allie, you said you were you said these guys are going to be having a festival that you were telling me about. You want to give us a little info if you could, wherever you could.
We're just in the starts. I just kind of like picked the date. It will be October 12th. That's what we're looking at.
Or July 12th, right? Was it July 12th? July 12th or October 12th? July 12th.
I was going to be like, it better not be October 12th. I was like,
next week.
Got 2 days.
No, it's this weekend, right?
This week. So July
I've got October 12th on my mind. I'm sorry. July 12th, and it will be over at Artie's. And my friend basically, he said to me, like, you can kind of pick 8 bands, have them come out, perform, and I worked out like some really good deals for everybody. the bands, and yeah, I'm excited.
Nice. And we might
have
be
you guys
doing it, right?
played at Arby's yet?
No, that'll be our first time if it all goes the way it should.
It's such
Yeah, I've
an
been there before.
awesome venue. Like there's inside and there's outside. There's like a huge like stage, and then they have like the ground area. They did AstroTurf in the inside, so it like you don't get muddy or anything like that. It's really a cool. And then they have like a huge tiki bar in the back, so you can like stand behind it.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'd definitely be interested in that because we don't play many gigs a year. We play good ones. We try and play the good ones. So yeah, count us in for that. And yeah, we'd love to do it. And we got plenty of time to get promoted and all that stuff for it. So looking forward to that. Jess, did you want to plug anything?
My Instagram's Eternal Atrocity. I'm on there. I'm doing my modeling. I'm vampiring. Go follow a Pretty Little Podcast. Follow the podcast you're currently watching if you're not already following. Follow Monte Carlo. Support your local music scene, and
Awesome. Thank you so much. Jess, I'm sorry. Allie, you like to plug your Instagram and stuff?
Violet Vixen across the board. TikTok, Violet Vixen. I think that's it.
Yeah, she I catch the dances and stuff. Pretty fun.
Teamed up with Ben from American Mosh Pits.
Oh, cool.
And we're doing a segment kind of here and there. But it's called Pass the Mic, where we're going to be reaching out to bands that American Mosh Pits is going to see or that they want to see, and kind of go from there. We just covered Michigan Metal Fest, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Very we got to go through and talk to everybody. It was pretty cool, and they got asked to do it again next year. So
awesome.
I forgot my most important plug. Go follow IBS Grind on Instagram. There we go.
I was gonna say it. I was like, why isn't she saying her band?
I was like, yeah, go follow IBS Grind on Instagram. There we go. I don't know. We just made an Instagram yesterday.
Oh, so are you in a band, Jess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, come to Sanctuary Bar on October 25th. Okay, thank you. Come to Sanctuary Bar on October 25th. We're playing
South Philly.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Sanctuary. I don't know the exact.
Like 30th and Reed.
It's on 30th.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was there before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually,
you got a personal series.
Ton of shows coming up. If you want me to run through
I
a couple of them.
I got my own like notes app.
There you go. That's good.
I don't know how I would get by.
Are you using the band together?
Yeah. This is the bass player. I'm doing vocals.
Do you want to say hi? Can he say hi?
Do you want to say hi?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Frank!
Awesome. So you guys are going to be playing, what's the place called again?
At Sanctuary Bar.
Sanctuary Bar. You never been there, Bert?
I don't think I ever been there.
Yeah, I was there once, maybe like 5-6 years ago, and they had like a bunch of thrash bands playing there. It's not what you would expect in that neighborhood.
Right.
It's like Gray's Ferry, it's
interesting.
You think it'd be like an Irish bar and there's a bunch of metal bands playing there.
Right. That's wild.
I kind of love that about Philadelphia though, because I have been in some neighborhoods that like it's practically just like a door in like a home. It's in like somebody's neighborhood, and then there'll just be a door that like leads to a basement. And then there's like a like grind band playing, or like a black metal band playing, and then there's a bunch of punks in there, and I love that about Philadelphia. Like, I think we have such an incredible music scene. We have so many DIY venues. We have I think we have such a thriving music scene. We have so many cool bands. We have so many cool people. I see so many of my favorite bums floating around. I love the homies. And We got some sick people. I love it. We got some great music. Philadelphia's sick. So
I second that. There's a huge scene for every type of music. It's all out there here. And
Yeah.
and guess what? All the bands are pretty supportive of each other, which is great.
Absolutely.
Which is
Every time
really good.
we played last month and everybody came up to us, shaking our hands. I got a million messages of people being like, you guys were sick. All fucking awesome. So I just love I love the Philadelphia music scene. That's part of the reason I love doing this podcast with Allie, is meeting people.
Sure.
You know, and like, man, like maybe my favorite bands from Philly. Like that's like I had the opportunity last month to interview Matt Horrendous from Horrendous. And I just like, what an awesome thing doing this podcast and meeting new people and meeting people from the music scene. I've met so many great people like that. I met my own significant out there just because
I forgot to say all the like events coming up in the next month that like we're involved with. Millionaires at Artie's on November 8th.
Mhm.
Well, let me start with Love Drafts first. That is Lilac, spelled LYLVC, the cool lilac, with New Year's Day and Karma. And then we have the Millionaire Show, and that's November 8th at Artie's. And then we're going up to the Ritz for Norma Jean. And I'm trying to think what else. There might be more, but that's all I can think of right this second.
Well, that's cool. But so catch a Pretty Little Podcast on YouTube with Jess and Allie, Violet, and Vixen Commissaro. And the new episode has Fuel up on it. Pretty damn cool. I got a chance to watch some of it today. And so thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate it. It was fun.
Thank you so much for having us.
Anytime you guys want to come on, you are always invited.
This
we
is
don't have
our
many
first
guests. We don't really
that we've
ask
done
them.
together.
Our first
Oh, really?
podcast. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't really reach out to that many people to come on. I don't know why, but we only here and there we kind of get people because we usually just do like reviews and stuff like that. But we love to have people on, even like bring them on to review stuff and just to get other opinions besides us three, So
oh yeah, hit us
so
up
different,
anytime.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Got to
awesome.
get some record battles or something going.
Yeah, we'll get them on some record battles.
Yeah, there you go.
But pretty little podcast. You guys post every week? Is there a certain day or?
We post every Wednesday. That's like our set episode, but we had to take on like at least 2 days a week, maybe 3, because we've had so many people reaching out.
Oh, cool.
So Wednesday, but follow us so that you get notified when we do post, because we are kind of posting all the time.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much. Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye.
I'll be your savior, I'll be your traitor,